In this lesson, we'll cover starting a new project from a template. Now, when you start Revit, you're presented with the screen you see right now in this video. Basically, it lists on the very top projects. The little pictorials are recent projects you've opened, and below that are families and recent families you've opened. Now, if you wanted to start a new project, you can do a couple things. One is, underneath projects, you could click New, where my mouse is at right now. And if you did that, it would start a new project based on your settings, either from a default template or allow you to choose a template. You can also start a new project from one of the templates listed below New, such as construction, architectural, structural, and mechanical. Now, these are templates specifically to the discipline in each name. For example, the mechanical template creates a project with mechanical elements, but no structural or architectural elements. So they're specific to that discipline. Now, let's say you wanted to create a project for all of the disciplines, architecture, structural, and mechanical. Or you wanted to use one of your custom-made templates that you've used on your day-to-day basis with maybe your customers or a specific type of work that you do. You could click New, or another method is go to the large R in the upper left, click it, go over New, and then on the flyout, click Project. You're presented with the new project window, and the template dropdown is at the very top. Again, if you hit the dropdown in this template file location, you're going to see the same four that you saw on the screen behind this: construction, architecture, structural, and mechanical. What if I want another one? Well, click Browse to the right. When you click Browse, Revit will open up the default location for your templates, depending upon how you have Revit installed, the version you have installed, and what is your default units. For example, mine are US Imperial. And the location of my templates are C, Program Data, Autodesk, Revit 2015 templates, and then US Imperial. Yours may be different. By default, it should open up to that location. Now, if you want to use a template that spans all of the disciplines, the one that Revit supplies is called Systems-Default. Or if you had created your own templates, you could select your own templates either from this directory or from another directory. So go ahead for this example and choose System-Default. Click Open. That'll load the template into the drop-down list. Verify under Create New, the Project button is selected, and then click OK. This will now create a new Revit project with information from the Systems-Default template. And it loads a variety of things into the project. Now, depending on your processor speed, the amount of RAM, this may go relatively quickly, like mine did, or it may take a little time to load because there's a lot of things being put into the project. Well, if we look in the project browser in the lower left, you're going to see a lot of views that are already created. And levels are created as well. Views are grouped by default in this template by discipline. So I see I have electrical, then a subcategory lighting, and then underneath of that, views and plans for floor plans, ceiling plans, and then you have your power, floor plans, 3D views, even elevations. And then below that, mechanical elements, mechanical views for HVAC, floor plans, ceiling plans, and 3D views and elevations. And then lastly are plumbing. What else is loaded are families and family content. So if you click the plus to the left of families, you're going to see a variety of family headings below that. And if you click the plus to the left of each, the subheadings, and then ultimately the actual components that are loaded into this Revit project. And you can always add more if you wanted to, but this is what's based on the actual template when the project is created. Now, some other elements you may want to set or look at inside of this project, things such as maybe you want to verify the units, or maybe you want to verify the location, or the address, or some other settings inside of this actual project. All of this can be managed on the Manage tab. So if you go to the Manage tab, you have a variety of different settings and different control options to control and set what are the standards or defaults inside of this project. But if I wanted to look at my units, all the way over on the left in the Settings panel, right in the middle is an icon for Project Units. If you select that, it'll show you various units for common settings, and then the drop-down has some specific settings based on discipline. So like HVAC. You can see all of the units and the formats for each unit. Go ahead and click OK. Now you may also want to set the address. Below that is an icon for project information. This will show you and allow you to set the project name, project status, and project address. If you wanted to, you also could fill in energy settings. We'll cover that in another exercise. Go ahead and click OK. And finally, if you wanted to do an analysis, let's say a light study or a solar study, you may want to set the geographic location. And that is in the Project Location panel, very top icon called Location. If you click on that, it'll open up a window showing you an address or allowing you to add in an address for the project. It requires you to be connected to the internet because it'll actually search for that and give you the latitude and longitude based on the city or the address you key in. You can also set weather conditions, because maybe you would like to analyze your model in various weather elements. Go ahead and click OK. Once you've actually created the project from a template, verified the settings, units, and other locational elements, you probably should save the actual project before doing anything else. To save, generally you'll go to the large R in the upper left. I like to go to Save As, then click Project, and then give the project a name, and then choose the location wherever you want to save your project. Then with that project saved, you can start to actually build your three-dimensional model in Revit. So as a review, we looked at different ways to create projects. We looked at specific templates for specific disciplines, such as mechanical or structural or architectural, or we looked at using a template that spans all of the disciplines, the Systems-Default template. We looked at the different ways to actually start a project by using some of the screen shortcuts that we see when we start Revit, and we also looked at the shortcuts from the large R in the upper left.